All right, welcome to today's fireside chat. I am fired up, no pun intended, but we've had some great energy today. First, it was kicked off by the book club with Chris Hart. He absolutely killed it. I did not block an hour and a half for that, but I stayed for the whole time because he was dropping bomb after bomb. But yeah, this is going to be a different call, I think, because of that, because of the energy he put back into us, which is awesome. Always grateful for it. You guys, same drill we do every Monday. Let's start off with some recognition, some shout outs. I'll give Chris one. I just kind of did. Absolutely owned that book club. I thought it was fire. He had people from even outside the organization on there. They were blowing his Facebook up. Almost everyone stayed the full time, and he way overshot what he told us. And I say that half making fun of him, but also that shows the value, right? Normally on some of the trainings that people might go to, they're literally checking the clock. Like they're waiting for that excuse. Most of us are moving things out of the way so that we could absorb the nuggets and the energy he was giving us. So grateful for you, man. Anybody else have a shout out or two?
It's the under promise, over deliver.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, what else, guys? Who can we recognize? I'll give Chris. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, buddy.
I'll give my buddy, my longtime friend, my business partner, Mr. Jeff Mosley one. He collected a bill over the weekend. And by the way, once again, I know him so well that I can poke at him a little bit. This is what happens, my friends. Once you get that bill and you get the proposal, it happened with Katie, or it's about to happen with Katie. You get so jacked out of your mind, excited. This play becomes so real. He is blowing Jabari and I up. How do you do this? How do you do that? And we've all been there. I'm not even making fun of him, but that's the power of going through it. I can't slow Mosley down now. He's got a taste of it. Like it's in his blood. And it just takes that one proposal. So Jeff, kudos to you, man, for leaning in, getting that utility bill.
Never relax.
He's getting that burning desire.
Love it. Who else can we recognize, guys?
My guy Chase just actually uploaded his lead from last week that he didn't realize it was still as a lead qualified, so now he has to change it. But
awesome. I don't know if he's on here, but I'll give him a shout out later. That's great. Jabari, good to see you, sir. Appreciate you hopping on.
Jabari's been smoking it lately. Smoking it.
I think I'll give Jabari a shout out, guys. I love giving love. I think he's sitting at number 5 or number 6 mentor in the. Hopefully, I didn't get that wrong. It's like 3 or something. I'm pretty sure it's 5 or 6 number mentor in the entire country, guys. That's our very own Mr. Jabari Sadler on this team. So that is badass. Who else can we recognize?
So Rosalie, she signed up as a seller yesterday, who is the president of the Brazilian Chamber of Commerce in Orlando. And they're not on right now because they're having some huge luncheon in Orlando. So she went there. So they're like dominating it, gonna invite a ton of people on to tonight. And so just so you guys know.
And then Maureen, that person came to the Power Day event, correct?
Yeah, she did. And
awesome.
She was like, I mean, I thought she was so bored out of her mind. She had the angriest look on her face the entire time. I thought she was like, and she's like, so pumped. I mean, everyone's got their different personalities. So never assume. She wants to bring it to all. And they're actively also, Rosalie is working with a marketer to show all of the assets that are in the knowledge base and to start translating stuff to Portuguese so they can really, like our team is dominate the Brazilian marketplace. So
wide open. It's huge opportunity you're sitting on. I love it.
Yeah. And I got 6 bills in the system over the weekend. So just working on all that stuff now. So
call is over, my friends. Let's all have a good day. I feel sorry for who has to compete with that next.
Right?
So Jabari's on it with like the ones that aren't California. And then thank you guys for the recommendations. Seems like there's a lot of utility interesting situations in California and different cities. So I have like Sacramento that was recommended as a specialist.
Yep.
And you guys haven't worked with him. He's awesome. And Jordan Shaw is working on one with me. So thank you guys for that.
I want to know how Maureen's doing on her seller goal for August.
I don't have any contracts yet, but I mean, I have 11. Well, I guess I have 10.
No, recruit. You have a recruiting goal.
Oh, I kind of shifted a little bit for now.
Okay.
I realize that I get to make money first and then I can dominate the recruiting space. So yeah. So yeah, I can hear you. I just have to walk away from my computer for 2 seconds. But I wanted to.
Love it. And by the way, that's what I love about our Facebook Messenger. I'm guessing Terry got that from something she shared there. It's that cross accountability from all of us being plugged in, which is really, really cool. We got time for one more if somebody has it.
I got one.
Go for it, Mitch.
Last night I put out there, my goal for the week was to sign up 6 sellers for the week. So I got my first seller last night. And I have more than enough people that are in play that I should be able to get 5 of them signed up
Huge congrats,
by the
Mitch.
end of the week.
Love it,
But
man.
that's actually my 3rd seller. Period. So
Love it, man. You know what I love about what he just did too, guys, is when you make it a weekly goal, it's in front of you. I've been in business with Mitch for a long time. That the gentleman can flat out recruit. I think I've seen him throw up a 30 or 35 recruits in a month, like stupid numbers, like crushes everybody I've ever seen.
my record's only 30 in a month.
Sorry, 30. Who wouldn't like 30 new team members, right? But I say that with you because he could easily put off 6 for the end of the month, but he broke it into bite-sized chunks to force him to take action. So I absolutely love that, Mitch. Love it. Okay, cool. We're going to jump into the presentation real quick. I want to cover the virtual site survey. I'm glad Jabari's here because I know he is a big proponent of this as well as our other leaders on the call. I got to touch on the Monday night recruiting event. Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. It is powurhour.com. Same link, same channel, same time. We're going to have some special guests on there. We're expecting over 300 people. So make sure if any of you are interested in passive income, a leveraged income, building a team, that you get your unfair share by getting some guests on there. So I would definitely spend a few minutes sending out some texts, some voice texts, picking up the phone, whatever you need to do to get people on there. Once they see it, they can't unsee what they saw. We good on that, guys? And then if someone else can pull up the flyer, not the flyer, I think it's on Wednesday. We're doing the, I don't have it in front of me. I apologize. I forgot where they're announcing the ink, the new ink recognition. Is that Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's Wednesday. It's in the chat. I'll make sure we throw it in there. The reason I bring that up is anyone you have on today, if any of the co-hosts can help me mute, please. Anyone that you guys get on there today, we want to move with action really quick, get them signed up, answer any questions if they have any. A lot of them don't. That's the beauty of this play. And then let them know about the Wednesday night event, because now you and them are inviting guests to that event, right? That's how you grow this organization, with multiplication instead of addition. It's a powerful thing. We've never had 2 in 1 week before. So make sure that's on your radar. Those of you that see value or interest, that you're leveraging it to the highest ability. So with that, let me share my screen and we're going to jump in and talk about the virtual site survey. And Jabari and Chris, I know you guys have done a lot of these as well. So if I miss anything you want to add, just you don't need to raise your hand, just come off mute and do whatever you got to do. But virtual site survey, really important. A lot of people on the team don't even know what it is. They don't even know where to start. They don't know how to leverage it or any of that. So we're hopefully going to touch on all those points today. But this was released at convention.
I have to.
Please mute, guys. I would greatly appreciate it.
I can't screen share on the TV.
That's what I'm working.
Can anybody help me?
I got you, bud.
Thank you. Okay, cool. So virtual site survey. So this was announced at convention a few months ago. Prior to this announcement, the way this works, the minute you got on a closing call with Jabari, the closer, he requests the documents, everything is signed. The next thing they're going to do within about 2 days is they assign a project manager, right? This is the old school way. After that, the project manager is then going to reach out to the client or clients to schedule an actual site survey where they send somebody from the install crew over to take a few photos. Very quick process, but you can get lost in several days to even a week or two, right? I've had one deal where it took 2 weeks for my client's schedule to align with the site survey schedule. That's 2 weeks of lost time. So what they did was they rolled out this app to where now you as the salesperson, you as the mentor, maybe the mentor lives close by, or more importantly, the seller themselves, right? The client can actually log into this app, take a few photos. It takes 10 or 15 minutes. It is not labor intensive. And it's really easy. And I'll walk you through how we get that in their hands or your hands if you prefer to do that. But it's a very cool process. Let me move this over so I can see. Everybody can see my screen, right? Okay, cool. So the virtual site survey came to play in an effort to reduce the time from a contract getting signed to the actual site survey happening. I just gave you a scenario where it could take, best case scenario, you're probably talking about 4 or 5 days, to the worst case I've seen for one of mine was about 2 weeks. This completely removes it because it can get done same day, Write that down. Same day. I'm not even waiting till the next day to do this with our clients. I know Jabari's doing the same thing. It eliminates customer scheduling conflicts, right? They're not having to take off work for someone to come, because typically these site surveys, the actual ones in person, are done during the day, business hours. They can knock it out right then. It increases speed to design. Speed is the name of the game in sales, my friends. What you do not want is someone signs a contract, they're so excited, 2 weeks go by before anything else is touched on that file, right? That's a long time. Has anyone ever bought anything where you had a little bit of buyer's remorse? Of course. So you want to speed that up. You want to get them really excited. We want to get to the next step in this, and this really allows for that. Ultimately, it's going to lower your cancellation rate, which I know every single one on this call wants. And then my favorite benefit of this is increased speed of the M1 payment. We now can tell a brand new seller partner that if they went out and got a bill today, they had a presentation today, they can be paid as quick as Wednesday in terms of that 20%, typically between $1,000 if it's a mentor deal, or up to $2,000 if you're a tier 2 or tier 3. Same week, guys. We're talking within a few days. And that's all because of the virtual site survey. This has also become scalable as well, which is really, really neat. We're going to show that in just a second. So who's it for? I touched on it. It's for the homeowner. I think that's the first and foremost. If you live in a place where you can go do it, by all means, go do it. It's a great way for you to build that relationship with a client. Right now, even the person that lives right behind me, I'm looking at his house. We're set for install, I believe, in a couple of weeks. I could have easily gone over there and did it. I had him do it. I wanted them involved in the process. I wanted them knowing how this works. And they got really excited about doing that as well. The power of the virtual site survey advantage. We talked about how you get paid now in 72 hours. This is what the actual app looks like. So you're going to send this to your client. The easiest way to send it is when you log into your back office, you click on the project's name. So I'll use Jeff Mosley. I click on Jeff Mosley's name. There's actually a button that says send the site survey app to the client. It doesn't get much easier than that. They're going to log in with the same email they used on the proposal, right? Which is typically, I mean, it's very easy to look it up, but they should know that. When they log in, they're actually going to get a pop-up that says this is their project. Because they are a client, they only have one project. If we log into that same app, you're going to see a list of everything. And then it walks them right through it. So they're going to use your Powur credentials or theirs. You go to powur.com, you can do it from there. You can send the documents. It's cool. We touched on that, making sure I covered everything. Anything, Jabari, you want to add, or Chris, so far?
No, I was glad that you touched on the fact that, yeah, it's easy. When VSS first rolled out, I was doing it the hard way, where I was going to the app store and copying the app link and trying to send it to the homeowner and doing all this running around with my fingers. Yes, inside of our back office, it's much easier to just click the button that says send link to homeowner. They get an email. It already has, Google Play or the App Store, or whatever type of device they use. It already has the correct link. They download it and they love it. Like when they go into the app, they love it. They answer questions that I would have to call them anyway. Like, I don't know how old your roof is. I don't know if you have any, leaky, spots in your roof. The homeowner really is the one who's going to know all of the answers to those questions. And they really love it because they get their hands wet. They get to kind of understand, okay, I took a picture of the electrical meter. I took a meter of the picture of the front of the house, the back of the house. It starts to click in their minds. And then it shows them, once they hit submit, it shows them where they are in the big grand scheme. Hey, you're heading into design phase. And the results from this VSS is what the design team needs in order to get you into the permitting phase, right? Because it's out of our control how long it takes for us to do an install. Most of the time that's really wasted for the homeowner, or the waiting period for the homeowner, is just waiting for the permit. So if we can speed up that process and get that permit applied for within the first 24 to 48 hours, then that install is going to happen much faster and they're going to feel some progress. So like Aaron was saying, that buyer's remorse feeling, they're not going to have that issue because they see, oh, wow, this thing is moving fast, right? And one other thing I'll touch on, I've had at least 2 or 3 projects in the last 2 weeks where the project manager hasn't even been assigned to the project, and I've already got paid in one.
Crazy.
So meaning, let's say today's Monday, let's say the homeowner signs the two documents today. We presented it today, we closed today. They sign the two documents today. We send them that link for VSS. A lot of them are excited to take those photos the same day. Everybody's got a smartphone today, guys. They know how this works, right? Aaron was mentioning, if you buy furniture today, it's the same type of thing. You have an app, they want you to take photos and upload it to your app so they can measure the furniture, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a platform generation. They're familiar. They take their photos, it kicks them into design. That M1 payment gets sent out before the PM is even assigned to the project. It's already in design before the PM is even assigned to the project.
Huge.
So yes, VSS is huge. You could be getting to install. For example, I had an install in 27 days in Orlando. From the date the contract was signed to the date they were installed was 27 days. There's areas in Vegas that I hear you can get a permit approved the same day. There's areas of New Jersey that I hear you can get a permit approved the same day or the next day.
That was
So
in Florida, Orlando, Florida.
that was in Orlando, yes.
That's impressive.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Appreciate
So
it, Jabari.
back to you, Aaron. Yes.
Yeah, and jump in whenever. Like I said, you know, he hit on a real key point. One of the pushbacks I get from team members is you know, we just sold them a $50,000 solar system, and now I'm asking them to take a few photos. That's all mindset, my friends. It truly is. We just, and I know I've shared this story, but there's a lot of new people. We just recently purchased doors and windows, I don't know, 2 months ago. The minute we signed the contract, it was over Zoom, just like we do. They sent me an app. My wife and I had to go outside, take a couple photos. We were smiling. We were laughing the whole time. Like, we weren't like, we just spent X number of thousands of dollars and you're putting me to work. No, because the salesperson delivered it. He said, hey, would you like to get your job started now? We said, what? Yes, of course. Same thing here. If you're really excited, Jabari, guess what, man? I just sent you a link. You're going to log in. It's going to prompt you through 11, 12 photos. It's so easy. Nobody knows your house better than you. If you could get that done in the next 10 minutes, we're able to kick this project off. We good? Clients are excited, guys. They're excited. So it's all about posture. It's all about how you deliver it. Couple other nuances with it. And I don't know if this is going to change, but as of right now, we're kind of grandfathered in this gray period, which we'll take. Originally, the home had to be newer than 1989. So for instance, when Jabari hooked me up with my suite system, I was not able to do it because our house is built in 86. So we actually had to wait for someone to come out. They are now erasing that, at least for the time being. There is no age requirement. The only really things that come up, you cannot do a virtual site survey on a ground mount, right? And then if you have a battery backup, they're still going to want to send somebody out. However, with the battery backup, because I know our team sells a lot of those, you still want to have them go through the process of doing the virtual site survey. It is still going to speed it up, even if they send someone a week later just to take a picture of where the battery is going to go, maybe the electrical panel, they need something in more depth. So don't let that stop you, but it's important you know it. Right. I just had this conversation with, who was it? I think it was Ariana. She's just sold one with Jabari recently, the battery. And I said, when you tell them to do this, prep them that most likely they're going to send somebody in about a week's time frame just for some additional photos, managing the expectations. Right. Everybody clear on that? Okay, cool. The results, you guys have seen it. We're able to now get paid in a day and a half, which is just stupid, crazy. I wish they would do that, something similar like that in real estate. Obviously, you're seen as the expert if you're going out there and building it. We talked about the ground mount battery storage, making sure I'm not missing anything. The other big one that could come up as a fail, right? They're going to label these within 24 hours of upload as either a pass or fail. The biggest one we see getting dinged would be the potential quality or lack thereof of the roof, meaning the roof looks to be in disarray. They might need to send somebody back out to maybe even have them get up there to see it, right? Another question we get all the time is my client expected to get on the roof? No, absolutely not. If you're going out there to do it, you're not expected to get on the roof. You're going to take photos from the front, from the side, from the back, just the best you can do to include as much of the real estate where the panels are actually going to go as possible. It is really easy. Same thing with the attic. Are you expected to crawl up there? Absolutely not. They're going to want you to go up, take a photo, and I'll even demonstrate how that works in just a second. Most people that, at least my clients, that's what I can speak of, were able to knock this out in less than 15 minutes. Okay, we talked about that. Sorry, just to make sure I don't miss anything. Here are a couple sample pictures they're going to ask you to do where the utility meter enters the house. And once again, it walks them right through it, a close up. Here is a picture of what the rafter size looks like. This is what they're looking for. You can see they are not in the attic. They pulled down the stairs, they popped it up, whatever it looks like for that house, and they took a simple photo, and the app walks you through that. Here's an example of an insufficient photo. We can't even tell what it is. I saw Jabari move his glasses. He has no clue, right? Obviously, that would not suffice. So they would have to send somebody out or have them redo it. They're going to have pictures of the electrical panels, and it walks you through exactly how to do it and which photos they actually need for that. Let me share one other thing with you. Can you guys see my new screen? Okay, hopefully the audio works. I'm just going to play a minute or two of it. I want you to actually see what it looks like from a client perspective.
To the project that you want to take photos for. So you just select the drop down. If you're a consultant logging into the MyPower app, you're going to see all of your clients listed. If the client is logging in, they are only going to see their project listed. So we're going to click Edit My Site Survey, and I'm just going to go back to the beginning where it talks about the questions. So when they first open the app, it's going to say, congratulations on going solar, nice little welcome message, and they're going to click started. Then it's going to ask them questions about their home. So how old is your home? Select the answer, click continue, approximate age of your home, click the answer, roof type, cement tile. This is super important. If you do not know what type of roof they have, then you need to consult with your leader, mentor, and if the homeowner doesn't know, they should be asking you.
Quick question on that. This does come up. It hasn't come up for mine personally, but it's come up on the team where the client doesn't know that what type of roof it is. Zillow, as much as this pains me to say, any agent on this call will know, is a great tool for that. Jabari taught me that. You can go there. Most agents have uploaded the type. It's in most markets, it's a requirement for us to know that. So you can go there, look up the property. You'll be able to find what type of roof that is just there. So a little bit of research.
Are there any leaks or damages? Again, asking the homeowner. They can always select, I don't know. Will the panels be mounted on the roof? So you're indicating if this is a ground mount or roof mount. And then we're asking more details about the home. Is there an HOA? Are there any pets? Is your meter behind a locked gate? Any remodels, additions, or structures that have been recently constructed? That last question, we want to determine if there's any unpermitted structures on the property because we do not want to mount panels on those structures. And then we get into the photos of the actual house. Again, the customer can complete this virtual site survey themselves. It's very easy to understand.
Okay, cool. We'll stop it there. I just wanted to show you the simplicity of it from a customer's perspective. By the way, that slide deck and the videos can all be found on Knowledge Base. Knowledge Base is your best friend, my friends. Like so important you go there. I just typed in VSS and you'll get more information than you ever care to even know. It's all there. It's all at your fingertips. Questions, comments, concerns? Anybody want to share something that they've done a virtual site survey for somebody or had a client go through it? Let me open it up to you. Everybody's shy now. Chris, I know you've had a few clients, I believe, do it, correct?
Yes, sir. We just recently had one in Maryland, and he was really impressed with how easy the process was. And interestingly enough, what I learned from it is, it's just like in real estate. If you look at the National Association of Realtor Home Buyer and Seller report, people hire a realtor, a buyer agent for what reason? They want to know the process. Well, it's the same thing here. People don't know the process. And what he said was no other company even talked about this. So I think these are things that we can use as additional value propositions to help people move the process forward, because Jabari, you could probably relate to this, that people all want to know, how long is this going to take? Right. So the fact that I don't think they asked the question because they want it to take longer than normal. I think they want it to be done as fast as possible. So we can, leverage this virtual site survey as an opportunity to bring more value to the proposition. Or to
Love it, man. I'm gonna share this real quick. I thought I'd have a screenshot, but I'll show you in real time. This is an actual client of mine. So all I did, and he's already gone through this. In fact, we just got his plans back today. This is a deal Jabari and I are working on. You would log into that lead as you see here. I clicked on site survey. Doesn't get any cleaner, any easier, right? And literally it says email the power link to the homeowner. This is what Jabari and I were talking about earlier. I mean, it's that simple. That simple. It's branded to them. It's going to have their project information all there. Like it, once again, so easy. Just the thing I would add is manage expectations. Notice my language, right? We talk a lot about language with recruiting. What time today, Chris, can you knock out the site survey? What time today can we kick off your project? Like that is my number one thing. I want to get this project moving before they ever start to second guess things. And it's not something bad. We all second guess things. It's what we do as human beings. So the quicker we can get them excited and get that ball moving, the better off we all are. Not only do you get paid faster, but you keep the deal going. Cool. Any questions, thoughts, concerns before we open it up to the fireside chat on this? And by the way, there's no bad question. We've had a lot of site survey questions, a lot of them lately. That's part of the reason that we wanted to bring this information to you guys. James Moore, are you still here?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. I'm gonna pick on you for a second. Is that cool?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay, and you'll know the numbers better than me anyway, so I'm gonna pick on you because I also need you. So there is also a money play here, a little side hustle hack. You can get, and correct me if I'm wrong, James, but you can get certified to actually go out and do these not only for your clients, but for anybody in the company. Meaning someone can log in. Let's say the client is not tech savvy, even though you don't really have to be tech savvy, but they don't have a smartphone, God forbid, something along those lines. They just can't do it, right? You can log in and you can now pick someone that is willing to drive over to that person's house, your client's house, and actually do the virtual site survey for you. It's a process you got to go through to get it. But then, James, what are you paid per deal for that?
$100.
Plus mileage as well, correct?
I don't know that yet. To be honest with you, I applied for it last month, middle of last month, when you sent the link to Josh Waxman and I filled it out. I just received about 4 days ago the invitation, if you will, to do the background check.
Awesome.
So they're really serious about this, vetting the person. And now I have the online course in the Powur University to go through that course, 7 modules. So they're really serious about having somebody well-trained on this. So I'm really impressed by that. But I have not yet gone out and do it. I'm excited for when I can. But it is a process. So it's not overnight. It's not in a week. It's almost like you're applying for a position with the company because they want to make sure you are, who you say you are, that you're going to be professional, ethical, and all that stuff. So
I love that.
I'm really impressed by how long it's taking, because really, if it was like in a week, like I drive for DoorDash, it took me about a week to get authorized. But some DoorDashers are really unethical; they steal food. So I feel like this step process that Powur has enacted is really cool. So.
I love it. And by the way, I mean, let's say it was close by and they do pay mileage. We just confirmed it. $100 for 15 minutes of your time. That is a pretty good rate, right? I mean, that's incredible. If he just did one a day, that's an extra $500 to $700 a week. Not only that, you're honing your craft. You're looking at roofs, you're out. I mean, he could door knock around it, right? So it really is endless. So if anybody wants to be in that program as well, in fact, James, if you could find that link we sent you, that would be awesome if you could throw it in. Where do you find the app? You can go to the App Store. Hopefully you have an iPhone and they have that other Google thing. You can go there, whatever it's called, and you type in My Powur. I think it's the My Powur app. Everybody's laughing. It's all good. The My Powur app, and you can do it there, which is really cool.
Wait a minute, did you just say there was something other than an iPhone?
Yeah, I knew I liked you, Terry.
Apparently,
That's mean.
that's the rumor.
Yeah, really. All right. Yeah, what's a droid? Okay, cool. If anyone has questions, we can talk about it, but let's do what we do. Let's open this thing up to the traditional fireside chat. This is where you guys, for anyone new, you can ask any question. Obviously, we want to keep it high-minded, positive. If you're getting stumped, we can do role plays, objection handlers, whatever you guys need clarity on. We have some amazing leaders on this call, so it's not just led by me, but it's the collective wisdom. With that, who would like to kick it off? What's something that's on your mind you need clarity or help with?
I'll just throw out there real quick. In the chat box, I dropped a link. That is a spreadsheet that was shared with me as far as utility companies that do not play well with solar, that Power does not authorize. So it's a good little reference to have when you're getting proposals, and double check that that spreadsheet before you start putting proposals or leads in the system.
Yeah, Chris, that's a really good point. I see Maureen's on too. She can probably touch on it a little bit. I know Maureen had a bill or two that it's in an area we just don't service. I believe her at least the one case I know of was in Chicago or thereabout or near that, if I'm not mistaken. My personal stance on this, right? I believe in speed. Anyone that knows me knows that. So I'm not, other than knowing the states that we're in, I'm not looking that up. I'm gonna learn it as we go through. Because the reason is, and I've seen it in real estate, where you can get stuck in research mode, wanting to research every little thing before you ever even sent someone a message. And you spent 10 minutes figuring this out. Oh, we're good. Hey, Jabari, man, I just launched this. And Jabari didn't even respond to you. And I share that because you don't get those 10 minutes back, right? So I've had conversations with some people. I didn't even know what state they were in. And the minute I found out, obviously you're bummed, your shoulders go down. You're like, ah. But I'm like, dude, I'm adding you to our list. The minute that state opens, we are going to service you at a high level. We kept it high-minded. They were blown away. In fact, they tagged me with more referrals in that area, unfortunately, but it's part of it. So we're going to figure that piece out as we go. I wouldn't get too lost in that. Yes, Maureen.
Is this a working spreadsheet? Can I add the city in Illinois, Chris? I don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would imagine so. If
I mean, if we're all gonna have access to it and we just, you know, we save it and then, because it was city of Mount Vernon, I just looked on her bill on the Illinois tab. I don't see it on.
Wait, so hold on, two different things. Let me touch on this real quick. So utilities are, so there's, all right, so let's back up for a second. So when we enter a new territory, there's a lot of factors that go into it, right? And so you guys know I'm in Georgia, so nobody wants us to open up new territories more than me, right? But keep a lot of things in kind of in consideration when you're thinking about just why can't we just open a state? Install partners is a big variable that we have to cross over, right? Utilities are another huge variable, right? Because you got net metering issues depending on the utility company, right? And then you might even have a utility company that said, yeah, this is great, we'll do solar. And then we go to do an install and the homeowner is waiting 6 months for them to get PTO, or 6 months for them to even approve the install to get the permit, right? We don't want to put our homeowners through that kind of stress and strain to get solar. So we have to constantly update zip code maps and territory maps, and certain installers maybe can't drive out of a certain distance or a certain zip code to get to a certain, like in Western PA, Pittsburgh, we're adding new installers over there. So it's a constant moving target to get all of the variables in play in each territory. So for the particular link that that Chris put in the chat, that's just talking about utility partners that we've tried to do an install with. It didn't go well for the homeowner, so now we've put them on our no more list. Now Chicago, the issue that Maureen had, that's different. That's a select, like city of Philadelphia and city of Chicago, maybe even city of Baltimore. The inner cities have a different type of market when it comes to solar.
Yeah,
So
this is,
go ahead, Maureen. Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I don't know if I can share my screen really quick.
Yeah, no, just in general, we don't install in the city of Chicago.
It's not Chicago.
Oh,
It's not
okay.
Chicago. I have no idea where Mount Vernon, Illinois is, but it's Ameren is the utility company. It's
Okay.
Mount Vernon, Illinois, and all I know is when I uploaded it as a lead and I went to go to try to qualify it, it just said that screenshot of we do
right.
not service in this area. So that's what I'm saying. It's not city of
that's
Mount
not-
Vernon or Ameren utility is not listed on that list. And so
Yeah, that means it's not a utility company issue. It's another issue.
okay, I guess what I'm saying is maybe we create our own spreadsheet like this that we can reference before we try to request a bill from a friend that lives in that area. So we're not if I knew city of Mount Vernon was a city in Illinois that we don't service for whatever reason, I would have been able to know that prior to calling my friend and going through the whole hour-long process of getting her to send a bill.
Right. So what I'm saying is you're right. It would be great to have a master list like that, but that's changing daily. So we have to manage expectations on Aaron's point, right? So when we're talking to the homeowner, remember, every single one of my neighbors, if I look out my window, they all are like begging me to give them solar. And I have to constantly say, hey guys, I want solar, right? As soon as we are given the green light, I'm hitting everybody up. So for our friends and our family that are in these territories that we can't install right now, that's what we got to do. Until the time comes that we got the green light, hey, I just found out, we're ready to go now. Let's get you set up.
I
So
saw,
that's all we got to do.
I saw a tip recently that said, just go to our own website and enter the zip code.
And it tells you right there.
And there's a way to see if it's eligible or not.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I think language is important too. Like I'm constantly telling people every single time, your home may or may not even qualify. I won't even
Right.
know until I try to input it in the system.
Very,
'Cause
very good point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does
that's
stink.
why-
And I agree. You know, all of a sudden you get someone so hyped, and you're like, oh, bummer, we just don't do it. But it's just the spend of, hey, the minute we work out the relationship with that utility company, if that's the issue, or the minute we open that section or that state, oh my gosh, I'm going to service you at a high level, and you keep it moving, unfortunately. But I like what Jabari said. I want to make sure it's not lost, because a lot of our team is brand new, talking about PTO and all that stuff. And what that my view of it, because I'm going through it right now with my current install. You might have a utility company that's on the good list that could change at any point, right? When he says fluid. So for instance, my install company, they were amazing. Like I was so blown away. And they told me the minute they were done that Dominion, my utility company, dragged their feet. They don't want to lose you as a customer. They have seen it take 6 to 8 weeks sometimes for them to come out to do the final inspection. To Jabari's point, that's a long time.
You're talking
Like,
about
obviously,
putting
I'm
a net
bought
meter
in, but I got solar that I can't use yet. Has nothing to do with
Dad's
power.
house.
Are you
Yeah,
talking about the
it's
net
just the
meter
utility
install?
company. So, sorry.
Are you talking about the net meter install?
Yes and no. It's
Just
just
in
the
general.
install.
Just
They have to come out to
PTO
inspect
in
it.
general.
Yeah. So it's always going to be changing. Something we have to monitor, you know, and all of that, and keep sharing wins that we have or any concerns. and that
Aaron, you
sort of-
can't turn on your solar right now?
No.
There's not a switch that you can turn on?
No, it's completely shut down until you have permission to operate
All
From the
right.
utility company.
from the utility company.
Well, in Florida, after the building inspector comes, and they usually come within a day or two, they're really good, no matter what counties, there's like 7 counties that I'm currently installing in. They're usually there within a few days, sometimes the next day. And then, they pass it, then the electric company gets notified. And they have, by Florida law, they have 30 days to change your meter to a net meter, because it's a whole different meter.
Yeah.
And they usually are there in a few days, in under a week. Rarely do I see it go into the second week. And I've never seen it go beyond 2 weeks. So they're really good. And I do want to tell you what happens. You got your solar turned on and you don't have your net meter on. That meter measures the flow of power in either direction. So if you're producing more power than you're using, your excess is driving your meter. You're going to get billed for your excess. So, but a lot of times, and I work for a local solar company, and when we do an install, the customer can turn it on. We show them the switch. They can turn it on or off after the building inspector. Now, they can look at their usage during the day and go, oh, we use quite a bit of power. The air conditioner's running all this. We turn it on. Their excess may be a lot smaller than what their incoming would have been. So they still have a savings. Also, except for one utility company in Florida, which is called Peace River. It's small, it's a co-op. They don't do net metering. And so they charge 14 cents a kilowatt. They do put a net meter on. They give you 5-cent credit, but charge you 14 cents to get that kilowatt back.
Awesome.
So the only way to make that a viable install is to figure out about how much power they use during the day, and just and you give them a much smaller system, unless they get a
Yeah,
battery. Now, if they get a battery, they're all set.
the average person on the team is not a solar pro, so there's no way we can go behind the scenes. Obviously, he is really skilled at what he's doing and can gauge it so they don't get the bills or anything. But for most of us, we got to wait until we get the PTO and they actually come out and do it. I just want to make sure we're clear on that so we don't get anybody in trouble. Let's get back to the fireside chat, guys. Let's keep it more general, so not just state specific, so that everybody can benefit. What's something you guys need help, clarity, want to mastermind on? Let's roll.
Well, as as a couple of you know, I just moved, to Florida, Mitch. I'm in Hillsborough County.
Oh, you
so-
border my county.
Okay.
I'm in Manatee County. I'm just to the south of you.
All right. So, I'm in a new territory. Don't know anyone here locally. Hopefully, can change that. Plus, my network. So I don't know what has worked for others that may have moved where you're unknown recently. So that's my question.
That's awesome. Who wants to touch on that? How are you guys out meeting people and
Join a BNI group. Or a
I've thought
networking
about
group.
that. Yeah.
I'm into BNI. If you want me to sponsor you, just let me know.
Yeah, BNI is a great one. I know John Bobness just got approved yesterday, I believe. From my limited experience, Raisa, who's our upline, she just joined one. Not every BNI is created the same, right? We can do a whole class on that. So definitely shop around, because there's typically multiples, and especially in the larger cities, you want to find out the number of referrals they're giving and that sort of thing. But yeah, it's incredible, especially when you get in there with solar, where everybody has questions. You're the go-to person. I mean, I've heard Jonathan Bernasso talk about, I think he said 90% of his deals come from his BNI group. And that gentleman closes a lot of deals. And it's just the power of the referral, power of that warm market. And obviously, I know a lot of the teams comes from the real estate background. We're very polished. I know you are, Terry, very good at talking. That I personally, if you did it, you would dominate it. Like no way around it.
Terry, I put my phone number in the chat. I'm the only solar guy in BNI in Manatee, Sarasota, Hillsborough, and Pinellas counties. Out of all those BNIs, I'm the only one. So I get a lot of cross chapters. So I'd be working against my own interest, but I'll do it for you. I'll help get you into a good BNI up in Hillsborough County.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Maureen, I don't know that. If it was virtual, I would 100% do it. So if you find the answer to that, please let me know. I know Bobness was on too here recently that he shared a Zoom. So I don't know if that was just the interview process or what.
Yeah,
There are some virtual BNIs, but BNI, the whole company's trying to get them to end the virtuals and go live.
Yeah, I know that was like I was a guest when I was in California on some of them, but that was like in the middle of COVID. So I didn't know what
Yeah, we were all.
I was also thinking of joining some like Christian business owner networking groups also in Florida.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if, what your faith is and stuff too, but I think there's a lot of power, like a lot of believers want to, work with other believers. And there's a lot of innate trust, I think, in that. So that was something that was coming up for me that I think I want to pursue.
That's really cool. Love that idea.
That's awesome.
All right, what else we got, guys?
Question for you, Aaron.
Yeah.
And everybody else. Is there scripts out there? Because I try to market to customers and people that I know. I did a few, just screwed around with a couple of social media things, and I got a fight back with somebody said that he was up 8 months into getting solar, and Prince William County denied him for some reason. And I asked, so why did they deny you? And he never really got a good answer out of it. He said they were putting a stop on it, but I couldn't find anything that said definitive. I just figured that, when people have a bad experience with another solar company, how do you approach them and say, well, we're not them? I mean, I know how I approach it with my business, but how can you twist that around and say, well, why don't we just take a look and see what we can do for you?
Yeah, so a couple questions there. One is not all, a lot of our scripts are on the board app. So make sure you guys have that on your phone. Really, really important, especially if you're new. A lot of the scripts are there. Chris Hart, who's on this call, he teaches a high-level scripting class every Friday. I think it's at 9:30 a.m. if I'm not mistaken, where we cover a lot of this stuff too. Essentially, it's what Chris teaches best. It's ask really good questions, listen more than you're talking. Oh my gosh, Chris, I'm so sorry to hear that you're going through a bad experience. Tell me more about it. Like, get them opening up to what the problem is, and you're going to see how our company, our amazing company, has a solution for that. So I think that's a great segue into a good conversation, potentially getting a utility bill coming in and saving the day. But yeah, great question, Steve. All right, what else, guys? People are quiet today.
Is there a replay of this morning's 9:30 book club?
Based on the face he just made, I don't know.
I did everything to get on, Chris. I couldn't. Okay. All right, I'll be on the next one.
I apologize, guys. One of my faults that tends to show up frequently is I get into it, I forget to hit the record button, I get in a zone, and we just went.
We'll remind you next week.
Yeah, we definitely need to remind. But that's why I tell people don't rely on recordings, for one, and two, just a heads up, we'll put this out there. With vanity links, if you have trouble with vanity links, your alternative is you type it in the web address. I can't speak for anybody else, but any of the ones that I'm doing, once we start, I don't check my phone. I don't check the, chat boxes on social media or whatnot. So I always encourage people to get on a couple minutes early in case you do have issues. So I use the same one every time, guys. chrishartzoom.com. If you have issues with it, hit me up. I'll give you the regular link to it, and just save it in your calendar under notes or whatever.
Love it. All right, what else?
I just want to say thank you to you guys for pouring into us as much as you are. We really appreciate it.
That is so awesome. Yeah, we have an amazing squad here. That is for sure. Everybody's trying to see everybody win and lift everybody up. I could echo that all day long. Like, truly grateful. I'll touch on this quickly while someone's hopefully getting the next question or anything else they want to talk about. The power of social media. I know many of you that I have personal relationships with are so sick of me saying it, but oh my gosh, guys, if you're not posting about this amazing company, this opportunity, what we do on social media, you're missing it. I'm not saying it's the only way, but gosh darn it, it might be. Like, it's the only way to let the world know your door's open. I made that post yesterday. I didn't have a ton of interaction, as Chris teaches. I didn't do it for the likes, didn't do it for the comments. I did it for the message. Last night, I got a bill from it, right? So that's a potential $10,000 conversation from a 2-minute post that I didn't even come up with, right? Let's give credit where credit's due. I stole it. And then this morning, I got another message around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock from someone that wants to join the team. All from that post. And I don't know what's going to come from the bill yet. I haven't run it. That's tomorrow. Numbers look amazing, so I'm confident we'll get it done. The person I just got off the phone with, 100%, he's joining the organization from that post, like 100%. He is so jacked out of his mind, has been praying for this. God brought him to Facebook, he said, brought him to my post. I mean, it was powerful, but that's all from sharing it, So I know Chris echoes that statement as well. You need to share it, my friends. You need to get out of your own way. You need to play to win. People are out there right now are looking for what we have. They're looking to lower their bills. They're looking for additional income. They just don't even know to go to you. They really don't. Chris, you want to add anything on that politely?
No, I got nothing to say then.
Go ahead.
When I first started in real estate, when I got out of the Army, I moved to Myrtle Beach, and I knew 4 people. My mother, my father, my older sister, and her husband. And neither one of them had lived there longer than a year. And when I started in real estate, I started with a company that was the biggest in the area, best, most offices, they had all the bragging points, right? And they didn't really have any training, and they gave me 1,000 business cards and a name tape and said, good luck. But I looked at those business cards and I said, if people don't know me, how do they know to hire me? And at the time, I don't even think Facebook was really a thing, if it was even around yet. So my only opportunity that I knew of was I had 1,000 opportunities for people to know, one, get to know me, and two, get to know what I do. And that's all I did is I would just walk around my neighborhood, go into coffee shops, grocery stores. Every time I engaged people, and I purposely made it a point to engage people, I handed them my business card and said, hey, I just got started in real estate, working with Coldwell Banker over here. If you happen to know anyone that's interested in buying, selling, or investing, I'd be honored to serve them. That was it, right? It was nothing fancy, but it worked, right? And I think the thing that worked was not so much the script. The script wasn't anything sexy. The thing was, I went and talked to people and they knew what I did. And I think that's the power and leverage that we have with social media today, is that you can expand your reach, and you have so many different tactics of how you can do it on social media, whether it's, you're posting videos, you're posting pictures, you're posting text, you're doing live, you're doing whatever, your Facebook ads, right? There's so many different tactics that you can create a strategy around, that why would you not do that, right? And then the second piece to it is, why would anyone want to hire someone when it's a big ticket purchase when you're not excited about it, right? Like, there's someone, you know why door knockers work? Like, has anybody asked themselves, like, why are door knockers so successful? When I think we live in a society today where nobody really wants anyone knocking on their door, but yet those guys are making the most amount of money. Anybody want to try that, answer that question?
Because they're excited when they meet the homeowner.
Yeah, well, they can convey excitement, but the psychology is most people won't do what they're doing. And if they're willing to do it, they must be bought into what they're selling. That's the psychology behind door knocking.
Ooh. I'd never thought about it like that, man.
For real. I'm 100%. Like, that's the psychology behind it.
Everybody get what he just said? Like, that is so spot on. If you're brave enough, crazy enough to go knock on someone's door, you're jacked out of your mind.
I know we can do it. Me and you used to do it all the time.
Dude, that is Chris. Wow, I never thought about it like that, man.
You know what social media is? All right, let me back up. In the solar world, right? D2D University, that guy on YouTube, Aaron, you and I have watched some of his videos. During COVID, you know what they called social media strategies? It was the virtual door knocking. Facebook ads, virtual door knocking. So I encourage you to look at social media as the manner in which you don't have to door knock. Think about that. Like, show the world how excited you are for something that can really benefit them. Because guys, I'm telling you right now, I 100% believe this. Jabari, I think you can back me up on the same thing with Aaron. I think 10 years from now, solar is the way homes are being powered. And we'll look back and we'll go, 10 years ago, I was on the forefront of this. And some people are going to go, I just didn't do anything with it. So I think social media has the ability for us to get out in front of the way that America is going to be powered. And we just have to educate people.
Yeah, I love it, man. Good nuggets. I think there's two reasons too why people aren't doing it, right? I'm keeping it real, because a lot of people call me to ask questions on this, kind of coach them through it. One is they're too worried what their friends and family are going to say.
They?
Yeah, I would. Who cares? Who cares? I've had a lot of people recently say, I posted about different things that I started. I didn't finish. It didn't work out. Cool. This is the one that you're excited about. Like, who cares? Honestly, who cares? And then the second one is they don't know where to start. They don't know what to post. That one we have fixed for everyone here. I have not made an original solar post yet. True story. If you go look at my wall, I stole it from Jabari. I stole it from Terry. I stole it from Chris. I stole it from Maureen. Stole it from other people in the company. I tweaked it to my language and I used a real case study. And by the way, just like real estate, we are all one team. Any of you can use any of our deals and say the word we. I
Yeah.
use the heck out of Jabari's because we are all a team. It is ethical. I didn't say I just sold. I said we just helped another customer. And I'll use one of Maureen's stories, right? And so far, everyone on this team, because we all lead with abundance and not scarcity, we're all willing to share it. You don't have to ask permission.
I just shared during the Zoom because you said you got a bill from it last night. I went onto your Facebook, I copied and pasted, I downloaded the photo, I pasted it. I just changed a few grammatical errors. It was only tweaks I did, and put it on my Facebook. That's it.
She couldn't text me that privately. She had to say it on a recording. I appreciate you.
It does
Oh,
the
man.
grammarly, just the underlines red things. So that's why it
Oh,
was
my God.
just, fix. But I mean, I literally didn't change anything, because you said we could. So I was like, why wouldn't I? If it got you a potential $10,000 deal, it takes 2 seconds.
Yep.
Yep.
And by the way, I know I said it before, it's important because I'm wired this way. I struggle with it. You will make a post. I hope it doesn't happen to you, but it happens to me that you thought was fire. You thought was really good. And you got 2 likes, your mom and your brother. And you're like, what in the hell? You want to go back and delete it. Like, what did I miss? Was it the wrong time? Don't. People see it.
Leave it.
One of my worst ones, I don't remember which one. I had nothing. It was crickets. I have gotten 4 or 5 bills from it since, where people like they're just watching it. They don't want to like it. They don't want to comment it. It's about that billboard. You don't know when it's going to hit the right person at the right time. It's just about getting that message out there. That is it. Another
Your
really good
next
person to
post
follow is
compounds it.
what?
Your next post might be better, but now they've seen 2.
Yeah.
You post again, and now they've seen 3. And if you make them better or they're the same, it's the repetition, but maybe not every day.
Correct. And I agree with that too. I mean, there's some people on the team that do, and hey, at least they're getting the message out. Raisa is another really good one to follow social media wise. She does a lot of posts. She'll post 6, 7, 15 times a day about solar. Like she's taking the gloves off. She's playing to win for her family. Not my style per se, but you get some nuggets from her. Like she does a really, really good job on that. What was I going to say on the other one? The other cool one, when you guys are plugging in, hopefully you are at least catching the replay on Chris's role plays on Friday. And I'm hoping I think after a conversation with him, there's going to be more role playing interaction. He had to get the framework and everything else going. But he's talking about the different conversations we need to have. And so I'm starting to look at my social media posts by, am I appealing to all 4 or 5 conversations? Like that wasn't even on my radar until last Friday, right? Because you don't know which post is going to stick at which time. So it's huge. So once again, yeah, just take action. I'll give Maureen kudos. There's a lot of people right now talking about going and stealing that post. She didn't wait till the call was over and just did it. It's implementing. It's taking action right away. I love it.
Wow.
All right, we got
When I get
time for
off
one
today,
more.
I'm going to do that.
Forget later.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? I know I'll never get back to it. So I've learned to just do stuff immediately.
Yep, love it. We got time for one more.
I like to thank all the education that I'm getting out of this. Every time I do a Jabari meeting, I learn something new, something better.
Yes.
Every time I read something else, like every time I read the Bible, I learn something new that I didn't even know about. Seems like keep learning makes it easier. And one thing I've learned in being in business for myself for years is there's always going to be that person, well, this other company, well, I'm not the other company. I will never compare myself to another company because you don't know what the other company's using. We know what we're using. We don't know what that they're doing, but I do appreciate all the time that, Jabari and Aaron put in, and everybody puts into this, this stuff.
Appreciate it, man. And we'll end on that. I tell people this every single day, and I'm glad it came from someone else, right? You can't be a prophet in your own hometown. The number one way to learn this business is by getting utility bills and doing a proposal with a mentor. Hands down. Hands down. Any of the nuggets, if you think they're nuggets, anything I dropped solar-wise, almost all of it came from doing a proposal with Jabari or another tier 3 mentor. All of it. It is on the field reps that you happen to get paid for, right? Now, here's the difference. Let's keep it real for a second. When I'm on these calls, awesome, Katie, I know you are. When I'm on these calls with Jabari or another tier 3 mentor, this is in my hand. This is in my hand. I don't have my camera off. I'm not multitasking with the kids. I'm being honest with you. I am paying for Jabari's time. I'm soaking up every freaking nugget. I'm like, ooh, that was good. That was good. I'm writing it down. I'm like, oh, he didn't say that last time. That must be a new one. Like I'm highlighting stuff. I'm taking those reps so that I can go do it. Even if you don't have the intention of going to do the presentation as good as Jabari ever does, right? Even if that's not your wheelhouse, not your thing, you can use a nugget. You can use the information he shared on that proposal when you're out trying to get another proposal. You guys see how that works? It's every day. It's all around. Whoever does the most tier 3 proposals with a tier 3 is going to win the game. You're getting paid and you're getting the education. Sorry, you got me passionate about that, but it's important. So many people are trying to read about solar, do all that. No, go have a 2-minute conversation, get that bill and go through the reps and get paid with it, guys. All right, you got me fired up now.
Yeah, you got me
Sorry.
fired up, guys. He's absolutely right. I know we're clocking out here, but that's the key, guys. Don't get too wrapped up in the nitty-gritty when you're new. Just collect bills, be short and sweet about getting that bill. Hey, I can't make you any promises. Let me pass your file over to engineering. Get it off your desk, get it off you. Hey, I can't answer all those questions, right? Let me see what engineering says. I don't know until it comes back. That way you're not spending 30 minutes, an hour promising something that maybe you can't deliver. We don't know what's going on with their house. We don't know the situation, the conditions. Just get the bill, submit it, tag it, present it. Everything's gonna make sense once you do that.
So true. And then
Hey, don't forget this. Every day you're reducing the human carbon footprint, saving the planet. You're doing good while making a living.
That's right.
Facts. Don't forget about tonight, 8 p.m. The 6 people I can see on video, I know all like leveraged income, passive income. Spend a few minutes, stretch out of your comfort zone, get a few invites out. By the way, I spent the morning doing follow-up invites for people who have seen a video but didn't come on board yet for whatever crazy reason I'll never understand, right? But I said, oh my gosh, you shame on me, I forgot, I can't believe it. We're hosting a live event tonight. We're expecting over 400 guests. You gotta hop on tonight at 8. Let me know if you can make it. I'll send you a link. Like, that's a great follow-up script, guys. By the way, there's 400 guests. The way I'm phrasing it, they think they're coming from us, from our team. Who does not want to be a part of that? All right, cool. If you guys need anything, let us know. We'll see everybody 8 p.m. tonight. Appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great day.